You can see we have two lengths. We know what OM or ON is, in other words, because that's the same length. The two radii are the same length, 12. And we just found the other radius, which is from this circular part of the cone. So we could use that. Let me ask, what do you think we would use here to find the length of each? Some people say no. Let me see. Which
What's the question?
which formula should we use to find the height of that triangle?
Would it be cosine adjacent over hypotenuse?
I would use cosine because I have 90 degrees, but I don't have any theta. So I mean, you could do that, sir. But if you're using cosine, you will have to like use it to find an angle and then use that angle as theta and then use it again for another what you call it? Ratio, sine, cosine to find each, which is
Yeah.
much work. So
And
there
since you have two sides, say you could use Pythagoras theorem here.
yes. So once you're given the length of two sides, you can use Pythagoras' theorem to find the only missing side. Okay. Thank you. So yeah, Pythagoras theorem is the way to go here. Well, that's the easiest way out, rather. Um, so the hypotenuse is this side here. So across from the 90 degrees, that's the hypotenuse. And the hypotenuse in Pythagoras' theorem is normally letter C. So that will be our C. And it don't matter which side you put as A and B. Some people will change B to H, but you could use the formula just as it is, or you could choose to replace B with H. Your choice, really. So if you want to write a formula the normal way, as C squared is equal to A squared and B squared. Or some people, yeah, some people might use it as C squared is equal to R squared, which is this radial side here, plus B squared, which is H squared. It don't really matter, but I just going to stick to the general format. It's your choice, really. Okay, so C squared, we know that is 12 squared is equal to A squared is 5.6 squared plus, you could leave that as B or you could put it as H squared because B is the height, right? Okay, so we need to do some, I personally prefer to get rid of those powers. Some persons would prefer to transpose first because H is not by itself. So we have to transpose anyway. But I like to get rid of powers before I transpose. That's just my preference. So you can do either or, and your answer would be still correct as long as you don't do anything that is wrong outside of what I said. So 5.6 squared is what? Okay, so I'll put it as that. I don't want to round off anything yet. It's not good to round off while you're working up a question. The best time to round off, if you have to, if you want to, if they don't tell you to round anything, is when you get your final answer. So 12 squared, 12 12s are 144. All right, so to transpose this, we have to move two things. We have to move 31 or positive 31.36, and we also have to move that power from the H. Okay, I see an answer in the chat there. Laverne, you sent your answer for the world to see.
Miss, I realized it after, what I don't know. I went ahead and tried to do it, so I don't know if I correct. I believe
Okay,
I correct.
okay. No problem. So I'll confirm that in a short moment. So we go in reverse, BEDMAS. Anything subtracting here? No. Anything adding? Yeah, this is a positive. So you would see that's added. So we can move that first. So to get rid of positive to the 1.36, we will take away. So 144, we take it away on both sides. All right, this will give us 0, leaving us with h squared. Back to Google Scientific. Uh, yeah, what? Let me take off this. We could probably take off this by now, so I guess. If anybody didn't get it, just let me know. I'll just put it back. I'm just trying to get the screen out to clean. Right, so 144 take away 31.36. Oh no, 0.36. So I'm getting 112.64. And of course, to remove that squared, we will find. Right, so find the square root of 112.64. Yeah, that looking like the answer you sent me there. So I'm getting 10.6 or 10.61. They didn't say how to write it, so I'll leave it as 10.6 because this one is less than 5, so I don't have to add anything to that 6. Okay, so 10.6 centimeters or 10.61 will be correct. So, any questions from the others? Or anybody is unclear with anything, lost or anything? Or good, I'm good with everything, whatever it is. You are good, all right. Sorry,
I'm good.
pardon me, Salisha.
No, I say I'm good.
Okay. So I believe there's one more part to this question. Um, yeah, so they want us to calculate the capacity of the cone in liters. Anytime you see capacity, that means they're asking for volume, right? So they want the volume of the cone, but in liters. So we need to find the volume of the cone and then convert it to liters. Okay, so going back up, I need to write back some things in this code. So I'm gonna take off some of these things. So we definitely need that height because volume of a cone will include that height. In fact, the volume of a cone formula is 1/3 pi pi r squared by the height. So the height was 10.6. We just need the height and the radius. That's all we need for now. Because we know pi is definitely going to be 22/7, and everything else will work out somehow. Okay, yeah. Right. So this will be equal to 1/3 multiplied by pi, which is 22/7, multiplied by the radius, which is 5.6 squared, multiplied by the height, which is 10.6. Just put all of that in a nice calculator. So going over to Google Sam. All right, so on the spot where I need to use this calculator, boy. So I'll take off volume. Take out work with it like this. So for Google Scientific and some other calculators, you want to put fractions in the brackets, powers as well, just in case, you know. So open brackets 1 divided by 3 multiplied by open brackets 22 divided by 7 close brackets multiplied by, put this in brackets, 5.6 close brackets squared multiplied by 10.6. Let me double check that on my calculator here. Okay, yeah, I'm getting the same thing. I don't know if you all tried it as well, and hopefully you all are getting the same thing. If you are getting anything different, you know, say something. But once you put in some calculators, you don't have to put no brackets, but some of them you have to put brackets.
Must I get 348.57?
348. Yeah, well, some calculators might have something slightly different after the decimal. I don't know why. But the main thing is the 348. Yeah, the main thing is the 340. Okay. Well, on both of my calculators, I got a 3.348.24. I'm getting the same exact thing. All right, but this is not the final answer though. We're almost there. All right, did I put right? So they asked for the answer in, this is in centimeters cube because volume is in cube. So perimeter does be to the power of 1. Area does be to the power of 2, the answer, and then volume does be to the power of 3. Because it's 3-dimensional. As in, well, in most cases with volume, you deal with height, width, and length. The area is only a side by side, and then perimeter is just one side altogether. But yeah, or all sides in one. So we need to convert this to liters because they said they want the answer in liters. So if you all don't know, we want to learn this. 1 liter is equal to 1,000 centimeter cube. So we have the Q part, and we need to convert this to this. Now, normally when you're doing a conversion using a metric formula like this, it's either you have to multiply or divide, right? So what I would do, I know it's divide, I will have to divide, but how do I know I need to divide? Let me just take off some of these things so I can get some space. How do I know that we have to divide this? To convert that to liters. So if I wrote if I wrote this here, 1 liter is equal to 1,000 cm cubed. And I want to convert this to this. What I will do, I will look at this equation and say, okay, what do I need to do with this equation for 1,000 to become this? Right? I can't multiply because if I multiply 348 by 1,000, it will get bigger. I'll get 348,000. So I can't multiply it, I have to divide it. So what I will do is that's not well. One moment. So if I take 348 and divide it by 1,000, I will get the liters for here. Well, I will get it in to convert to liters. Now, some people, there are different ways to divide by 1,000. There's an easy way, and there is a longer way that I don't recommend. So if it is, I am doing this, I will try to figure out where's the decimal point. So you'll remember just now we got to the, not to the 348 point something. So the decimal point is here. And since I know where the decimal point is, the fastest way to divide 1,000 is to shift that point 3 places to the left. 1, 2, 3. So the decimal will end up here. So in other words, to convert that to liters after dividing, I will end up with, oh boy, just hold on. Yeah, I will end up with 0.348 liters. Now, to me, that makes sense because I could say that 0.348 liters will be equal to 348 that's our cm cubed. I don't have to put that there, but looking at the original metric formula, it takes 1,000 cm cubed to give you 1 liter. So if I got less than 1,000 cm cube, I will not get 1 liter, I will get less than a liter, which is 0.348. If anybody is confused or unclear about anything I just said, let me know. And you don't have to be afraid to say anything because you're not
Let's
here.
go over it again, please.
Sure. Right, so you'll need to learn this metric measurement that it takes 1 1,000 centimeter cube to give you a liter, right? So when I got the answer for this to be 348 centimeter cube, I need to convert this to liters. I know I have to divide by 1,000. So a lot of times it's either you have to divide by 1,000 or you may have to multiply by 1,000. How do I know which one I will have to? So normally when it is you're taking the cm cube and you convert it to liters, you have to divide by 1,000. If it was the other way around, if they wanted liters to convert to cm cube, then I have to multiply that liters amount by 1,000 to get it to be in cm cube. But since my answer is in cm cube, which is volume, I have to take that answer, divide it by 1,000 for it to convert to liters. And I said it's important to know because there are different ways you can divide. You can do long division. But if you're doing long division like this, that's gonna be a little, I mean, it's not gonna be a big problem, but you have to add zeros and all kinds of things you have to do for that. So to me, the easiest way to divide by 1,000, there's a rule. You need to figure out where the decimal point is in this number, 348. And previously I got 348.2. I know take out the points. But the decimal point is after 8, right? Based on the answer I got before, the decimal point is after the number 8. So once you can identify where the decimal point is, you can shift it 3 places in. Why 3 places in? Because 1,000 ends in 3 zeros. So once you shift that point 3 places to the left, you are dividing the number, because when you're dividing the number, it needs to get smaller. So the decimal point will end up here. So the answer will be 0.348 liters. I don't know if that was any clearer at all of them, but if you are not still not clear, let me.
Yes, Master.
Okay. What about the others? The people who are quiet, like really quiet and not saying nothing much. Okay, no response. In some cases, that is an answer, but it's not an answer for me. So you are good, okay. Adish, Ariana, Korean, Crystal, and Alicia. You eating, girl? Come and bring food for me, yes? Because trying to make me hungry in this class. Or
So, Miss, if you was dividing something, this point by the total by 100, the point will be shifted just 2 places because of the zeros. So it go according to the amount of zeros or something.
yes, but the number must have
Okay.
one. Can't be like 200 and stuff because it would be different. So if it's a 1,000, 3 zeros to the left, fine. And as you said, it's 100, 2 zeros to the left. If it's 10, 1 0, like one place to left. Partially
Okay.
hear it. Okay. You all want to tell me these things early, you know. Are you hearing me any better at all? I still listening to me, they partially hear and stuff. Are you hearing me any better? Oh, that. Okay, okay. I guess where we coming from. Sorry to hear though.